Welcome to the part two of our lesson for this week. So we are done with completeness. Now we go to conciseness. So conciseness does not mean keeping the message short, but making it direct or straight to the point. So insignificant or redundant information should be eliminated from the communication that will be sent to the recipient. What does it mean? Make it concise, make it short and straight to the point. um, when something is too long, we tend to lose the interest of your listener. Okay, so going straight to the point and making them understand what is really important in your message is the way to go. Okay, so concising is saying what you want, um, or what you have to say in the fewest possible words without sacrificing the other C's. So, it is going straight to the point but without sacrificing the other C's. So, a concise message is complete without it being wordy. So, we're avoiding too much words as much as possible. We want to keep our message short, simple, and understandable because there's a tendency for um, listeners and readers to zone out if it's too long, it's boring, it doesn't catch their interest anymore because what you're saying just repeat itself. Okay? So that is conciseness. So concise messages saves time and expense for both the sender and the receiver because it's shorter, we can save more time. Okay, not just for the from the receiver side but also from the sender. So conciseness contributes to emphasis. So emphasis, you want to give a highlight to what is really important by eliminating unnecessary words. You let important ideas stand out. So less is more. um, the lesser words you use, the longer time you have in explaining things, the better. But you don't have to sacrifice completeness. You have to still include all the things that is needed to be understood by your receiver, by your viewer, okay, by your listener. So, when combined with the you view, concise message are more interesting to the recipients. What do you mean by the you view? We'll talk about it later in the video, but to give you a brief idea of what is the you view, uh, always ask some, always ask something. Always ask this to yourself: what can your receiver get out of it? Okay, so what do I get out of it? So always consider your audience. Always receiver that you're the person you're talking to. Um, Consider his perspective. What is the advantage for him? Because he will not listen to you if there's something that he can get out of the message, right? It's like if you're not uh, considering his attention span, his interest, his willingness to listen to you, then even if you talk to him or even if you try to communicate to him, he will not understand what you're saying because you have not considered him or what he's feeling at the moment. So conciseness includes, um, you have to eliminate worthy expression, you have to include only relevant material, and you have to avoid unnecessary repetition. So eliminate wordy expressions, include only relevant materials, and avoid unnecessary repetition. So how do we eliminate wordy expressions? So this on this side you can see the wordy. Big sabi, excuse me. That means that these are just used, although they are often used in formal communication. For informal communication, we can change it to a more concise. Okay. For example, in due course, you can just say soon. Okay. In due course, I will be finishing college and I will be working uh, in the company. Okay. You can just say soon I will finish college and be working in the company. So, again, another wordy expression that I often find in communication, especially in letters. Please find attached the list you requested. Okay. Or please find attached my resume. Okay, for your perusal. That is very wordy. It means it's very long. Okay, but you can just say the list you requested is attached. So straight to the point. Do not try to make it sound um, uh, elaborate or complicated. Okay, make your keep it short and simple. KISS. That is the acronym for that. Keep it short and simple. Okay. So the next word the expression is she bought desks that are of the executive type. So you can just say she bought executive type desk. So making it less complicated, making it simple, making it shorter will make your message more concise and more understandable. Okay. Include only relevant material. Stick to the purpose of the message. What is your objective in communication? Number two, delete irrelevant words and sentences. Do not make it too long just for the sake of making it too long. Try to limit it. So just that the important ideas are communicated to your listener or to your um, audience. Omit information obvious to the receiver. In this item, you have to really, really be careful because you don't want to compromise completeness. So sometimes you think it is obvious for your receiver, but it's not. So be mindful of what the receiver or the audience already know and what they don't know yet, because sometimes you think they know but they don't know. So again, you have to be careful to omit in using this. But if it's too obvious that they know, okay, for example, we are gathered here today in Malabon City Hall. Why would you say that we are gathered here today in Malabon City Hall when everyone knows that you are in Malabon City Hall? You know what I mean. Okay, don't state the obvious. Okay, next. Avoid long introductions, unnecessary explanation, excessive prepositions, and adjective, etc. So, get straight to the point. Uh, avoid unnecessary explanations. Like, sometimes the introduction or the explanation, it takes longer than the actual message. Okay, so mind that when you're doing a speech, you're trying to communicate with people, or in your day-to-day life. Okay, next, get to the important point concisely. So, again, go straight to the point. Do not beat around the bush. Let's continue. Okay, so I have here wordy and concise. So, we hereby wish to let you know that our company is pleased with the confidence you have reposed in us. So, as you can see, it's very long, but we can keep it simple by changing it to we appreciate your confidence. So it's the same meaning, but it's just so very worthy. So we have to keep it concise. Another expression or another example. At this time, I am writing to you to enclose an interview card which has been postpaid for the purpose of arranging a convenient time when you might get together for a personal interview. Imagine, just reading that takes my breath away because the sentence is too long and it does not have to be that long. It does you have already lost the interest of your reader because just reading through your sentence is making him breathless. So a way of saying is, please return the enclosed interview card to set a convenient time for an interview. Go straight to the point. What is important? So he knows that the card is already enclosed because it is there, right? In the mail. So you don't have to state the obvious. Now, let's go to avoiding unnecessary repetition. Use shorter name after you have used the long one. For example, Philippine Long Distance Company, PLDT, Philippine Long Distance Company, Telecommunication. Okay, Philippine Long Distance Telecommunication Company, PLDT. Every time you have to say Philippine Long Distance Telecommunication Company, when you can just say PLDT. Okay, because the term PLDT is already, at least in the Philippines, is very common. Okay, so try not to use the long version if the short version will suffice. Okay, so use pronouns or initials after than repeating the long name. So instead of using American Association of Technical Analysis, you can use it or they or the abbreviated name, AATA. Okay, so cut out all needless repetition or phrases and sentences. So when you're reviewing, especially in writing, when you're reviewing and then you find that, oh, this is the same thought as the first sentence, then you can just omit that. Sometimes it is possible to combine two or even more sentences by using conjunction. So sometimes instead of two sentences separate, you can use conjunction, but you have to be careful with that because we don't want the sentences to be long, because long sentences require a lot of attention and effort from your reader. So you have to strike a balance between um, keeping your sentences short and yet delivering the complete message. Okay, so for example, another example, will you ship up this time anytime during the month of October? Would you be fine, or even November if you are rushed? November would suit us just as well. In fact, a little bit better. 300 of your regular 3 by 15 inches blue armbands with the white swan letters in the center. Thank you in advance by sending this along to us by parcel post and not express. And express is too expensive. So, that could be an email from a company that is ordering something from another company. Okay? So, a more direct approach, a more concise approach in expressing that same idea would be, please ship parcel post before the end of November. 300 regular 3 by 15 inches blue felt armbands with white swan letters in the center. Uh, Notice this. He, they make it concise without removing the details of the order. So 300 is still there. 3 by 15 inch 3 by 15 blue armbands with white swan letters in the center. So it's still there. All the necessary information is there. So the message is still complete, but it's now more easy to read and is more now easy to understand. Okay? Let's continue. So checklist for conciseness. Use one word in place of phrases. So as much as possible, keep your sentences short. Short sentence are less susceptible to grammatical error. So when you make your sentences long, there's more chances of making a grammatical mistake. Trust me. Okay, so keep your sentences short. The longer you make your sentences, the more chances that you're gonna make a grammar mistake. Okay, so one sentence into set into in one sentence in place of two. So if you can shorten two sentences into one sentence, that's good. Read out loud to listen for wordiness. So before, if it is written, you have to read it to yourself so that you make sure that you are not making uh, it too long, okay, or too wordy, okay. Omit wordiness and outdated expressions. Ayan. We are always guilty of this. We want to make our writing impressive, but we forget that um, to impress someone via communication requires from the sender an understanding of the audience. Now, if your audience does not understand the way or the words or the outdated phrases that you're using, then it is useless. It will not impress him. It will just irritate him. So, be mindful of outdated expression, okay? That are sometimes everywhere. Okay, so just be straight to the point. Next, ask yourself, is this material relevant? Before saying anything, especially in social media, before saying anything or before posting anything, make sure that it is relevant. What does your audience, what do the people that is going to read or see your post get out of it? Remember the you, okay? The you point of view. Okay, so remember that before saying anything, before posting on social media, okay, you have to be mindful of the relevance of your message. Does your message have relevance? Is it important for other people? Will it add value to other people who will see it? Then if it is, then go ahead and share your post. Okay? Look for unnecessary repetition. So, does the same word or idea repeat too often? So, if it does, then remove it or limit it. Okay? Revise it. So, that's it for conciseness. I hope that you learned something from this video. Part 3 will come out. Uh, we will talk about more about consideration on the next video. Okay? So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.